Junior Cycle Higher Level 2013 Phase 3 Paper 1 Question 7. This is basically a graphs, questions, functions, speed, distance, time. I suppose you could even look at sequences. It's all part of the same thing because it's a question which revolves around a graph and reading off values off of a graph. So, just reading through this, she leaves home at 5 o'clock. That's quite an important piece of information. And goes somewhere that is 700 metres away. She goes by foot. Now, one of the stories below is represented by this graph. So it's a case of looking at the graph primarily and just thinking about the key points about the graph. So, this is first of all a distance time graph. So the idea is, okay, as he travels away from a start point, okay, start point would be have no distance, so it'd be somewhere down here. As time goes on, we're getting further away from a start point. We then don't go any further away. We're not getting any higher. The distance travelled is not any higher. So there's a section here where the distance remains at 300 metres, and then at some point in time then starts moving further on to increase the distance from 300 to 700. Now it's 3 sections. Okay, it stops at 8, and then we have 4 minutes from 8 up to 12 where there's no distance being increased, at which point it then sets off again towards the final destination a further 400 metres away. Now the key thing is to appreciate with this section, this horizontal section, is it's when this person is stationary. So they're stationary from 8 minutes until 12 minutes. There's a distance of 4, or amount of time of 4 minutes. Now, in terms of working through these 5 possibilities, since we have a journey that after 8 minutes stops, we can immediately discount because it talks about 5:12 rather than 5:08. We can discount the first for the first one, i.e. the second one on the list. That's our first one to be discounted. And we can also bear in mind that the stationary period in time is 4. So in that respect, the fact that this person stops for 5 minutes would mean that it's discounted from our options. And then we're looking at the final 3. Now, if you actually read through the final statements, they're all exactly the same, with one single thing that is different. It talks about go walking at a slower pace, a faster pace, or the same pace. All of them are still 5:08 finish. All of them are still a further 4 minutes. Okay, all of them have a total practice time of 5 and 16 seconds. Now, if you compare these 2 sections where the walk is going on, because this second sort of travelling section is steeper than the first one, then we can say that the slope is steeper, and therefore the rate of change in distance travelled is greater. Therefore, we have a situation where the speed, which is distance divided by time, the speed is greater at that section there. So we appreciate that walking at a faster pace compared to the slower and the same pace. Moving on to the last part, we need to view the graph again. So the last part, part B, states Mary also lives 700 metres from football practice, but cycles to practice. She leaves home 5 minutes after Angela. So that's this point here. And she cycles at a constant pace and arrives at practice 2 minutes before Angela. So after 14 minutes in total. And the journey can be represented by a straight line from one point to the other